The more you sit in the garden of God, the more you have hope. The more you have hope, the more you grow in development and loving people. The more you love people, the more you grow in wisdom and intellect from God's heart. The more you learn to not be about yourself is when you grow in the garden of God. When you're growing in His wisdom, you're growing in sound love. And there's no thing to fear. When you have sound love, you have no worries. With no worries, there is sound passion. And God gives you a sound life. There's nothing to fear because love is here in your heart. And that Jesus is going to pour into you His perfect love. He's going to change everything and reveal everything to you. And He loves you. God sees you in intimacy. That He loves you. And that there's a beauty in love from God's gift of the garden. God sees you in fellowship and intimacy, growing a garden with Him. The garden of love echoes in your soul a lot more worth than gold. Because love is more worth it to God than following your own initiative. God loves you and sees you paving the way for other people in the wilderness. And that His love is in the garden. And there's a pathway in the garden. Sometimes the road gets steep, but it's so beautiful to walk with Jesus and be His hands and feet. And that you could trust Him because you are His hands and feet. That there's nothing to worry about because Jesus is bigger than your circumstances. God sees you in the intimacy. And He is bigger than anything you go through. Because God is bigger than anything you go through. He loves you and wants you to change people. And your love, not by your pain or anger. God sees you loving people through your passion for Him. The more you love people for God, the more developmental you'll be going and growing people in the garden of love. God sees you growing love in others. The community of love is more present than following your own ways. God is bigger than following your own ways. God sees you leading people beside still waters and restoring hope in their lives. God loves you and sees you in the beauty of time. That there's beauty in the time you spend in intimacy with Him and others. And that there's nothing to worry about because the love of Jesus covers over everything. That Jesus covers over your pain, your agony, or what you are going through. God sees you and loves you. God bless.